Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. I'm starting a new weekly video this week. It is currently Tuesday the 17th. I'll continue it until Monday. For this video I'm going to be showing you what I realistically read in a week. I feel like I'm still getting into the gist of reading this year. I'm not like reading any slower than I usually would, to be honest. I average probably like 6 to 7, possibly 8 books a month, but generally it's usually 6 or 7. Completely fine with me. I don't really care how much I read as long as I read 6 books a month. That's usually what I care about, unless I'm away or doing other things. But I've already read today and I'm currently reading If Only I Had Told It by Laura Nolan, which is the second book in this duology. I really enjoyed the first one. I think I rated the first one 4.5, 4.75, quite a high rating. Lacey got this for me though, and she thought I'd really enjoy it. So far, so I'm nearly done. I should finish it today. I think I have like 80 something pages left. So far, compared to the other one, this is probably a lot slower, but I think it's because it's about the grief. So in the first book, integral character in that book passes at the end of it. So this is characters that he's close to grieving him, so it's a lot slower, and I feel like I'm struggling a little bit because I think it's like not like repeating things, but it's just talking about things over and over again in a lot of detail. It mainly annoyed me because the person that dies, he has like chapters leading up to his passing, and it was like he was saying the same thing over and over again, but just said it differently. So I found it quite slow. But Lacey really enjoyed the best friends grieving aspect, and I really enjoyed that too. So I've only got like 80 pages left. This morning I've already read a lot. I think I read like 50, 60, 70 pages. I read a lot, like, yeah, 50 to 70 pages I already read today. So now on page 204, so I should finish this hopefully today. I'm praying I finish it today. So you'll just see what I'm getting up to this week reading wise. I don't have like anything planned, so it should be very easy for me to get pages in, and I just need to prioritize it more, so I think this video will be good for me. But so far today I believe I've read 70 pages, so I'll check back in with you when I'm reading again. So yesterday I spoke to you before I finished If Only I Had Told Her, which I ended up finishing yesterday afternoon, and I rated it a 3.5. Now, my initial thoughts going into this book, I thought I'd love it because I really quite enjoyed the first one from memory. Yeah, I rated it very high. I really enjoyed it, and Lacey told me that she thought I'd really enjoy the best friend's point of view in this because that's what she enjoyed. I've heard a lot of people don't like this as much, which is making it seem like I don't like this as much, but I have my reasons for that. I definitely preferred the point of view from the best friend Jack. Loved that point of view. I preferred it to all of the other point of views in probably all the books, to be honest, like both the books. But unfortunately, he wasn't really the main point of view in this book. It was mainly the point of view of Finn, which is the person who passes. And not that I didn't enjoy his point of view, but I just thought he was saying the exact same thing over and over and over again, but just saying it differently. And it was really starting to annoy me because I'm like, we get it. You are in love with her and you don't think she likes you. Like, we get it. And it just got it took so long to get to the point of them getting together, I thought. But and then, yeah, I don't know. Something about Autumn's point of view is I was just not having it. I just wasn't that interested. It didn't end particularly how I thought it would either. But I think this continuation was needed. Like a book like after to show all the loved ones going through the grief. I thought that was very necessary, but yeah. 3.5, wouldn't say it was bad. Definitely would recommend this purely for the best friend's point of view, but 3.5. Then, and I think yesterday I read upwards of 200 pages. Probably around 150 to 200 pages I read yesterday, so a good way to start the reading week. And then this morning I began A Man Called Ove, I believe it's pronounced, by Fredrik Backman, which is our second book club book of the year, which Lacey picked this book because she's read a few of Fredrik Backman's books. I've read one of his books and I loved it, My Friends by him. He just has a way of writing that's quite beautiful. But yeah, started this, not entirely sure what it's about. I just know it's about a grumpy man, and I'm assuming he forms like a relationship with a family that lives on his block or next door or something. I know there's a movie based on this. I have no really thoughts going into it. Brody read it before me and he said it's quite slow to begin with. So I hope it's not too slow, because who knows. But see how much I get done. I start on page 1 like you would have seen. I think I'm going to enjoy it based off his other one that I read. And I've heard a lot of people really like this, and it's quite emotional and beautiful. So I'm really excited to read it. So I'll update you when I read a bit more later. Yesterday I didn't really read much of A Man Called Ove. I believe I read like 31 pages. Yeah, I find that a lot of the time when I read a lot of pages one day, the next day I'll read a very little, which is usually what just happened. But yeah, 31 pages, not bad, not great, but at least I read. But today I've already read 20 pages. Going into this book, Brody had said to me that it's quite slow, which yes, it is quite slow at the moment, but it's under 300 pages, so I'm assuming it picks up like soonish. But I feel like what he's saying, like the slow parts of the book so far, what he's saying, I just know it's going to be relevant later on. It's like just kind of showcasing the type of person he is, so I think it's necessary for it to be that slow. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it at the moment. Well, I'm enjoying it. I'm not really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I'm getting through it. Hopefully by the end of the day I'm at least on page 100. That's what I'm hoping for. But that's my thoughts for now. So I didn't give you an update on my reading yesterday because I ended up feeling quite unwell last night, but I ended up reading, I want to say, start on page like 130, so I think I read 160 something pages yesterday, which is very good for me. And I ended up finishing A Man Called Ove, which I have some thoughts on that, and I can say them because book club will be probably before I release this. But yeah, it was the book club book for February and Lacey picked it. I think it could be, let me just double check, a literary fiction potentially. I've just got to double check because I'm not good at this stuff. It says it's contemporary fiction, rather than traditional highbrow literary fiction, whatever that means. So regardless, it's like kind of a similar realm. I have a really hard time with, I'm just going to say it's literary fiction. I have a really hard time with literary fiction because I find it's hit and miss. Sometimes I love it and sometimes I actually hate it so much. For example, I feel like Blue Sisters is literary fiction. Yeah, Blue Sisters is literary fiction, for example, and I loved that book. 5 star for me, loved it. And I've read a couple others where it's been a mixed bag. Some have been like a 5, some have been 4, some have been 2.5, some have been 3. I've really got a mixed. I find if I don't know it's literary fiction going into it, I generally will enjoy it a lot more because, like I said, I'm not good with these genres. But A Man Called Ove is a literary fiction. It's basically just, if you don't know, it's by Fredrik Backman. It's basically, sorry, I don't have the book because I gave it to Lacey because it's her turn to read it, but it's basically just about a grumpy old man who on the surface is obviously quite grumpy, but you can tell he's got layers to him, and I feel like that's just mainly the whole plot. I didn't not enjoy it. I rated it a 3. I just think it's one of those books where you kind of have to want to read it at that point in time, to me personally, and because I wasn't really in the mindset to read it, I didn't enjoy it as much. I will say though, Fredrik Backman, amazing writing. He's probably one of the best authors writing wise, and I never used to be the person that could overly tell how good an author's writing was, but he is honestly one of the best authors writing wise. Fortunately, as it's slightly bored some of the points in the book, but again, that's what kind of happens with like literary fiction, that kind of genre. Him, Stephen King, and like a few other authors I've read, but those two just come to mind as 2 of the best authors like ever, and you can tell when an author is just so good at what they do, and he's one of those people. And once again, like I've read only one other Fredrik Backman book, which is My Friends, which that is literary fiction, and I think I rated that a 4.5 or a 5 even. Can't remember, it was one or the other, and that's a literary fiction, so that just tells you how varied my ratings are for books like that. I don't know what this one was, maybe I just didn't connect to it as much, or I really couldn't tell you, because it wasn't a bad storyline, it wasn't bad at all. I just couldn't, I don't think I connected, and yeah, like I said, just read it at the wrong time. I think that I'm just making up excuses. I just rated 3 star, and that's fine. Like, it really is fine. Like, that's the whole point of reading books from book club that Bodhi and Lacey pick, because they're going to pick books for me sometimes I'm not going to enjoy, and I'm going to pick books for them they're not going to enjoy, and it's just like reading books to like expand our horizons and read books probably we wouldn't read as much, because I probably wouldn't have picked that book from Fredrik Backman to read next, but I'm glad I've read it nonetheless, and it was very good writing. So 3 star, I think 3 is a pretty average rating. Like, it's not great, it's not bad, it's just in the middle, and that's completely fine. But then I started The Wife and the Widow, which you would have seen this morning. Now, this is a reread for me. I read it in, I want to say 2022 or 2023, sometime in that period. Loved it. 5 star for me. It was probably one of my first thriller books I ever read. But I wanted to reread some books this year, and I thought that could be a really good starting point because it's a thriller. I remember really loving it. And it's from a time that I don't really remember the books that well. I find if you're going into a reread and you really vividly remember it, it's just not gonna, it's kind of gonna be boring. It's kind of gonna be sluggish to read, me personally. That's how I'm thinking of it. But I only reread all my true crime books. I've never reread any of my other books, so I'm intrigued to see how this goes. I genuinely don't remember anything about the book, nothing, except for the fact I loved it. Did I love it because it was the first ever thriller book I read? Potentially, But equally, I think I'm going to really enjoy it because the only other thriller author I really read is Freida McFadden, like consistently. And her books are quite basic, let's be honest. So I'm intrigued to see how this one goes. But this one I read 20 pages. I don't have time today to really read, so I think today's reading will just be 20 pages, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm reading Wife and the Widow because my goal every month is to read 6 books. And this month I'm meant to be reading Redeeming Six as well, which I will be starting this month, but I don't think I'm going to finish it. That's why I'm reading A Wife and a Widow, because I know I'll be able to read it relatively quick because it is a thriller. I'm going on a tangent. I'm reading Wife and the Widow now. Yeah, I remember really loving it, so I'm hoping I enjoy it just as much this time around. But 20 pages done for today. Good morning, I'm coming on here to end this vlog. I have no idea how this vlog was going. I think it was a bit of a mess, but yesterday I ended up reading about 80 pages. So not bad at all. As you would know, I'm reading The Wife and the Widow, which is, like I said, what's it called? Oh my god, my brain's not working. A reread. This is a reread for me. I'm really actually enjoying this a lot more than I thought I would. I didn't think I wouldn't enjoy it again. I just thought I would remember like the things that happened in it, oh my god, a lot quicker and a lot easier. I don't remember anything that happens in this book, like not a thing. I remembered like one thing. Sorry, I just contradicted myself, but I remembered like one thing, but it was a very, very minor. I don't remember anything. I don't remember where it goes. Don't know anything, but yeah, really enjoying it, and I can see why I rated it a 5-star, definitely. But that is the end of this video of what I realistically read in a week. I think it was a very mixed bag of a week. I felt like a lot of the time if I read like a lot of pages one day, the next day it was very minimal, but that is a lot of time realistically what and how I read. So hope you enjoyed, and I'll have to do another one of these videos down the line again. But thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.